Gavin Stone, when you think about not only his outing today, but really his last two, just how encouraging have they been, especially for him since the All-Star break, and just really getting back on track, hasn't he?
He's been really good. The stuff has been really good. I think the first pitch strike, efficiency, he's flooding the zone. I thought he and Will were in lockstep tonight. The curveball, the slider, the changeup, all of his secondaries, knew when to throw the two-seamer, and just kept those guys off balance all night. Got a nice double play there, I think, in the sixth inning, and just overall, really just missing bats. Got a lot of punch outs. The slider was really good tonight, and we needed the length. You know, it's been a kind of a long consecutive days in a row, and so this is a team that can really pitch well. So to give us some length tonight was huge.
On the offensive side, I know ahead of the game you talked about how just with Max being back in the lineup, with Tommy in there, this being one kind of similar to opening day, just being healthy. How does that just lengthen the lineup? You can see what they were able to contribute to the
It showed itself. You know, Gavin's been hot, you know, since the break, and so to have him still stay in the five, I really like that. Came up with a big hit for us tonight. And then you have Tommy, you know, hitting ninth and just adding tremendous length and barreled a couple balls, threw out a hit, and you know, it's just a relentless lineup. And when you got Max Muncy hitting seventh in a lineup, that's saying something. And so for Max to come up tonight in a big spot in a homer, gave us some breathing room, gave Joe a little runway, and then Evan to finish it. But you know, I just really like now we're finally healthy as far as on the position player side.
With Gavin being able to get ahead kind of with the first pitch strikes and filling up the zone, like, is that especially important for somebody like him who has pitch to contact a little, just allows him to attack guys a little bit easier?
You know, Jack, I think it's important for everyone. You know, this guy on the other side, Wu, doesn't walk guys, walked a couple guys tonight, which was uncharacteristic of him. But, you know, Clayton did it 2 days ago. You know, he throws strike one. You know, he puts the pressure on the hitter, and that's the formula, that's the recipe. And strike one is very important. And you can look at the last week, you know, the guys that worked behind, they didn't go deep in the game, and they didn't collect a lot of outs, but then, you know, you look at what Clayton did, what Gavin did tonight, that's the formula. And so regardless of, you know, if you pitch to contact, but tonight Gavin did get strikeouts, and when you can start getting ahead, you start putting a little bit of extra pressure. So Walker, you know, his last start didn't do a good job of that, and really hasn't done a great job. So for me, looking at acquiring strike one is going to be most important for him tomorrow.
What's been the difference with Gavin Phillips the last few times now?
I think fastball command. You know, I think that the slider has gotten sweeper has gotten better, but you know, and when he was in his funk, he was missing glove side, just off, you know, missing arm side. But right now, you know, when he needs to throw a strike with a fastball, he can do that. And going glove side to a Rosarena tonight, for example, then, you know, crowding with the fastball for a strike, then it opens up the outside part of the plate. And that's something that when he was struggling, he couldn't do that. But, you know, for the last, call it 4 or 5 appearances, he's been, you know, spot on.
And then Lux, he homered again tonight. When you look at the first 3+ months of his season to after the break being basically a top 8 to 10 hitter in baseball, is this as dramatic of a turnaround as you've seen from any player since managing his team?
It is. I was actually talking to the coaches about this tonight. You know, ironically, Justin Turner is notorious for starting off slow and then getting really hot. But as far as a guy that's in his prime, I haven't seen anything like this. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of confidence. He's staying in his legs now. To be able to homer to the big part of the field, slashing balls the other way, taking balls down below the zone, that's the Gavin that, you know, I've said it before, this is as good as I've seen him. And, you know, we've needed every bit of the performance. And I expect him to keep going because I think this is who he is now.
Okay, with Gavin Lux hitting the way he's hitting, now health coming back with all your stars, and now Muncy back in line, what does that do for this lineup and this team moving forward?
Yeah, it's a relentless lineup, you know, verse left, verse right. You know, you can see how we stagger the lefties and the righties, and there's just really no lanes, whether it's a starter, whether it's a reliever. It seems like we always get a good matchup. And yeah, I mean, it's daunting. You know, when you look at 1 through 9, guys that can take at bats, that can slug, that can get a hit, that can hit to all fields. That's kind of what we put this roster together, and finally get a chance to see it.